Hello. Hey, Justice Warriors. What's going on? It's Friday evening. It's almost 5 o'clock on August 23rd. I see In Your Presence has been here and made a comment, and I really appreciate that comment, Mrs. G. Thanks for that. And let's just get started with all the regular stuff. Like, please hit your like button if you'd be so kind. It looked like I already had one like when I came on. And it looks like there's 3 people watching. That's super exciting. Make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that sub button. Share a video of mine if you like my videos and you think you know somebody who might like one of them or 2 of them or all of them or some of them or none of them. Don't send it to anybody who's going to be a hater, right? We don't want to annoy people. And turn on your notification bell to ring, s'il vous plaît. Oh, Granny Annie is traveling again. Hola from Vegas. Yes, hello. So, yeah, what is going on? I feel like there's, I don't know, something going on with Kiely Rodni's case. And I don't like to stir the pot. I am trying to find the truth. And sometimes I think trying to find the truth might involve stirring the pot. So let me just apologize for anything that might come off like that. And everything that I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation and learn something and open up a discussion with you guys. All my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. I see Bex and Squirrels are here. So very, very cool. And Kiki, hello. It's been so long. Wow. Nice to see you again. So I was able to watch a little bit of Mr. Mark's last live. And I think where I want to start today with Kiely Rodni is something that I don't know. Like sometimes I have these thoughts that I'm like, why did it take me 2 years to think of this? But then it's kind of reminiscent of ideas from the past that I think other people had maybe as well as myself. So you know how they did this whole Find Kiely thing, right? That was what they wrote on the t-shirts. That was what they wrote on the cars. FindKiely.com. It was like a Where's Waldo game, right? Can't stay long. I'm watching you in my car before I go into work at 5, but I am glad I caught you finally. Oh, so kind of you. Thank you, Kiki. Where do you work if you want to share, or what type of work? Nothing too specific. And let's see. So the Find Kiely thing, it was like a game. It was like Where's Waldo in a sense. It was really obnoxious. And then it was like when they found her, they expected the game to be over. And honestly, when she was allegedly found, I fully expected the whole case to be a done deal. I really did. I've told you guys this many a times. This is why I started my channel slightly over a week later. She was found on August 21st, and then I started my channel on August 28th, but I don't think I did my first video until the 29th or the 30th. So I didn't think there was going to be anything to discuss once she was found. So I kind of had been trying to get my channel started for a long time, like way before Kiely's case came up. With the Gabby Petito case and with the Suzanne Morphew case, I was very motivated, but never enough fire under my feet to do it. So when Kiely's remains were found, and it did just the opposite of wrap things up, that's what motivated me to start my channel. And it's been almost 2 years now, and I'm ever so grateful. It's really cool having a channel. It's like you have a creative outlet. You literally find your voice and you find your peeps, and it's just exciting. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of figuring it out as you go. And I just really appreciate being here, and I appreciate all of you being here with me. So thanks. I can't thank you enough, really. Without you guys, I wouldn't even have a channel. I work at a restaurant. I'm not driving, just sitting in the car. Yeah, well, Friday nights are good for tips, right? Friday and Saturday nights are the best tips. So, yeah. I can't help but wonder if the entire Find Kiely was a sham from the ground up. That she was never lost. That there was knowledge about where she was the entire time. And that, quote unquote, finding her was going to put an end to people looking for her. And it's my opinion that that was their goal, to get people to stop looking for her. And how convoluted can it be? Mr. Mark is here. No notifications. Ugh. So this is what I want to say. I want to say it as delicately as possible. And this is why I really appreciate in your presence starting out the chat with her comment, there's no evidence Kiely was trafficked. I think it's really important to keep that in mind. And my first thought is there was really no evidence of anything involving Kiely. There was zero evidence, in my opinion. There was no evidence of her at a party. There was no evidence of her in the days leading up to August 6th. There was, in my opinion, no evidence that this was actually Kiely that was found in Prosser Lake, or that it was actually Kiely in the autopsy. So I do think it's really important to remain fact-based and evidence-based. Yet at the same time, without any evidence, you got nothing. And I'm not going to forget about Kiely. That's the last thing I intend to do. Has to be that a fake scam. Yeah, no evidence of all. Yeah, I know, Mr. Mark. So this is what I want to say, that I want to be so delicate. So I should just spit it out and then I can backtrack. Okay, ready? And then I'll tie in these other videos, the one about Jesse Patterson, who passed away in a hospital in Sacramento in April of 2023. And there was no information about her passing away until a year later, April of 2024. This was a 31-year-old woman with a diabetic episode. And then the other video that I linked in the description is Maria Duarte, who is a 45-year-old psychologist in Miami, Florida, who is getting charged with trafficking of a minor. And her charges are very severe because the person that she victimized was under the age of 18. So, and then we have Kiely, who's under the age of 18, who we do not have any evidence that she was trafficked. We don't have any evidence of her anything. So this is my question. Are you ready? Was Kiely Rodni knowledgeable about funky money business, like with Scammy's parents, with that $33.8 billion series of contracts with the government from 2020 to 2030? Was their funky business potentially even with Kiely's granddad and Scammy's parents? It never occurred to me until last night that the 25 years of litigation between David Robertson and Scammy's or between David Robertson and the federal government. And so Scammy's mother and father represented the government. Her mother's an attorney. Her father is a private investigator. So with this long, drawn out litigation of 25 years, could that have been prolonged intentionally in efforts to continue the employment of Scammy's parents? So what I'm asking is, and forgive me, could David Robertson have been basically in cahoots with Scammy's parents to continue this litigation so that Scammy's parents could continue to make all of this money off of the government, off of that contract? So maybe, I'm just putting it out there. So I know that there's been talk over the last 2 years about Kiely maybe having a list of names and dates, and that there was speculation that those names and dates had something to do with Lute and Lascivia Sachs. What if there is a list, or was a list, of names and dates, and that it had to do with shady financial transactions and deals? So I think what brought me to that thought process was the whole case with Micah Miller. And in her case, it seems like it's a fact that she had turned in JP and his cohorts, his partners in crime. She turned them into federal authorities, and then she was unalived in a very, very bizarre and suspicious set of circumstances, made to look like self-unaliving. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Sorry, I got a phone call from one of my kids, so I'm just telling them I'm on a live. There. Okay. We can ask the FBI now. So, right, Mr. Mark, I wasn't sure in your 2 videos today. It looked like you had done 2, and I only saw the one. It looked like the one from earlier that you might have been going over that FBI information that I think CNY was going over. And I watched most of that CNY video, and I don't know. None of it is very, it doesn't seem to me that it holds water, but I don't know. And I was curious if you had any thoughts on it and what your earlier video was, because it looked like that your earlier video was going over that same FBI information. No evidence of anything, but it's hard to get evidence when everyone shuts down. Exactly, Kiki. We can ask the FBI now. And BoobTube TV says there's no evidence she drove herself in on August 8th. Even drone footage suggests this. Yeah, BoobTube TV, thank you for saying that, because I have no doubt that Kiely did not drive anybody's car into any body of water on that day or any other day. You have to remember where she lived. I was looking at the map the other day because of the whole Donner Pass and where the lodge is built and where the Hambricks live. And I was like going in Google Maps and I was zooming in, and it's like rough terrain out there, you guys. It is such rough terrain. And we've all seen the video and the still shots of Kiely maneuvering her CRV through that skinny train tunnel on Coldwater Creek or Coldwater Stream. Anyway, maneuvering her SUV very precisely with the water and the rocks and loose dirt, and a very narrow passageway. So there's a lot of that up there. It's not just that one place that they had to go through to get to the Lost Trail Lodge. In that area, there's a whole bunch of that. It's not easy driving. So Kiely was very adept at driving through that, and she had been driving like ATVs and snowmobiles and those types of things on the property, I think, since she was 10. So she had a lot of experience in this activity. I mean, it's almost a sport, really, right? I mean, people get in their Jeeps and do stuff like that, but she lived it. So she knows how to not drive into a lake. And yeah, there was no evidence of any intoxication. We have to remember that 0.08 level of ethanol in her bloodstream is the same level that there would be from decomposition at that point in time. And Dr. Latina pointed that out for us very well. And a lot of other people did too. But Dr. Latina is a doctor, so let's just go with that. Scammy's dad is witness protection. Sigali, I believe it was uncovered that. Wait, what? And they are known to be given government contracts. Think Hawaiian water rights, all those post office boxes. Yeah, you got to remember that Jägermeister's mother, Kimberly Westfall, she had that post office box that was shared with the man who owned the house that fake Auntie Ashley was renting, the house that Trinity Backus went missing from. So I believe that man's name was James, and I don't have it in front of me if anybody remembers and wants to look it up. And that he had a P.O. box with Kimberly Westfall and maybe one or two other people, and that it was connected to a business in Hawaii. Does anybody else remember that? And again, I think I want to give a shout out to CNY. I think she was the first person that I knew of that honed in on that post office box with those names on it. And I still have yet to have any confirmation of the Kimberly Westfall who started the trafficking, the program designed to get women out of trafficking that was called the Sanctuary, that was maybe in Georgia. And I don't know that that's the same Kimberly Westfall or not, but it's like a multi-billion-dollar nonprofit organization. And again, nonprofit organizations are really good for money laundering. And it is interesting that the name is the same, the Kimberly Westfall. I think the ages were the same. And from the photographs that I found of the owner of that, helping women escape trafficking, and Jägermeister's biological mother, the photographs looked a lot like each other. But I'm not saying that it's one and the same person because I honestly don't know. It looks like it could be, but that's all I'm willing to say about that. So yeah, that is crazy that Sigali, I haven't been able to catch up with all of Sigali's videos that we were talking about yesterday. And Shan was great to put the links to some of them in the chat. And I was able to link some of them up in my description. But yeah, I need to catch up on Truth Tsunami because she's got a lot of good information, in my opinion. Seems they say a bit of info, but no. Seems they say a bit of info, but not too much. Is that what you were saying, Mr. Mark? She knew Kara? Oh, she knew cars. I'm like, who's Kara? Okay, she knew cars. So Jägermeister was really into cars. That was what he his subject matter for photography was. And Agape Love says, hello, everyone. Yay, caught another live a little late. Yeah, we're just getting started. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for saying hi. So back to my line of questioning about if Kiely Rodni could have been knowledgeable about some funky business dealings, shady business dealings, big business dealings that she needed to be silenced. Similar to Micah. It's just questions that I have. Absolutely questions that I have. But so let's talk about these two other videos that I linked up. So Jessie Patterson was a 31-year-old woman in a Sacramento hospital who had a diabetic episode in April of 2023. Dignity Health in Sacramento. And this hospital, I don't know what to call them, Dignity Health, medical industry, business, really, really unfortunate. They basically lost Jessie Patterson for a year. So she passed away, I think, on her second day in the hospital from her diabetic emergency. But when her mom tried to track her down, the hospital staff said that she had discharged herself against medical advice. And it took an entire 12 months for her remains to be tracked down. They had been put in cold storage off-site. So Jessie Patterson's mother was able to get the information finally an entire year later in April of 2024. So this is a horrific situation. I bring it up because we don't know if Jessie Patterson was lost intentionally or not, but there's been many others like her at this hospital in Sacramento at Dignity Health. And so now there's lawsuits for families who the institution has misplaced their family members and not been transparent in what was going on. Hideous, absolutely hideous. So basically hiding bodies and hiding the fact that these people are deceased. And this is a business. This is an operating hospital. This is not just a bunch of like gangsta wannabes or gangstas, right? That's why I put that one in there. And then the other one, to reiterate, about Maria Duarte, the psychologist in Miami, Florida, who met a teenage girl at a hotel pool and enticed this girl into coming to her room and basically trafficked her from the hotel room. So in that 20-minute video that's also linked in the description, it's already there right now, they threw a number out that I had never heard of or even thought about, that 87% of all trafficking happens in hotels. And I thought, sounds right. And the Grand Hotel in Reno that people keep referring to in Kiely Rodni's case, we don't know that Kiely was ever in that hotel. We don't know if there's a connection between her and the hotel, but I think it warrants the questions. And in that FBI file that CNY was speaking of in her last video, there's a lot of information about Vegas. And again, I didn't see anything that directly linked Kiely Rodni to Vegas. It was more inquiries, as far as I can tell. But Vegas and Reno have a direct connection. I mean, Reno is basically a tiny Vegas. So, and then the state of Nevada is where brothels are legal. And it's still going to be illegal with minors. And this person, Maria Duarte, is getting charged with felonies because of trafficking a minor. And, you know, she's getting the charges stacked against her. And again, I want to keep coming back to that first comment from Mrs. G. And I appreciate that so much, Mrs. G. Just to keep the whole idea tempered, you know, keep a lid on it, not let it run astray, because we don't know. We're inquiring because we care and we want her to be found. We want the truth to be found. We want the actual Kiely to be found. And it doesn't seem like that was actually Kiely in the autopsy report. BoobTube TV says, I think it's very possible. Did the name Robertson and a big attorney named Robertson in California connected to Water, who appointed him as such? Yeah. I mean, David Robertson is one of those names that you're going to have multiples of. And I have seen that over the couple of years. I've noticed that attorney with that same name and same line of business. But he's much younger than Kiely's granddad. I don't remember the age. Did typo. Wait, I figured agape. Dig into the name Robertson, and a big attorney named Robertson in California connected to Water and who appointed him as such. Yikes, Podesta connection. That is just so creepy. And then Podesta has a condominium up there in Truckee, allegedly near the Hamburglers, right? And Fred Field, hello. Granny Annie says, remember the basement of the place in Reno that sounded like Florida? I forget the name. Jamaica? Is that what you're talking about, oh Granny Nanny? Tony Neiman was from Vegas. Yeah, Agape Love. I forgot about that. I believe you are accurate in that. I believe that was where he was from before Lindsay met him. And him and Lindsay, I think, were in Montana when, let's see, before they had their son. So they probably had their son after they moved into the lodge. But Kiely Rodni, I think, lived with the two of them in Montana. And I know Kiely's granddad has ties to Montana. And I know Scammy's parents have ties to Montana. So, you know, I've seen Scammy's parents and Kiely's grandfather as arch rivals pretty much this whole time, this entire 2 years. And it wasn't until yesterday that I thought, what if there's more layers to it? What if they are business partners of some sort, that he's keeping the fire fueled for them to keep getting these contracts in? And then, I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with those $33.8 billion worth of contracts. I don't know. Shan, we need you to dig. You're good at that stuff. So no one is still speaking. No one that says something and no accident. Yeah, and that they're trying to shut people down, that they come out here on the streets of YouTube and try to intimidate and obfuscate. To me, that says a lot. Scammy also has relatives in Idaho where she took a quick voyage while Kiely was still missing. I forgot about that, Agape Love. And then um, Daisy was going to college in Idaho, right? In Des Moines. Was she going to like the University of Idaho, but the not the campus, not the Moscow campus where this quadruple slaughter happened, but still somewhere in Idaho. Masons or some alt with a C. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of questions about like the Bohemian Grove. And I never knew much about the Bohemian Grove until this case, and I've done a lot of research on that. Legal in town cities with 170,000 population or lower in Nevada. Mount Shasta. Oh, what's up with Mount Shasta, Agape Love? Mount Shasta is further west, and that's the area where Sherry Papini had gone missing in her fake abduction years prior. But then that case was getting resolved right around the time that, right before Kiely went missing. And we all remember that Kiely's family hired the same PR person, Linda Luchetti, that Sherry Papini hired for her fake abduction. And you just got to wonder, why are they hiring a PR person? Oh, because Lindsay says she doesn't know how to do media. That is sus AF. Makes sense, Mark. The younger ones go into Demolay or Job's daughters. Squirrel says, sorry, I was a few minutes behind catching up on what I missed. I'm back to real time live now. And that's infuriating. Squirrel's on fire. Yeah, I had, I mentioned in Mark's live that I had massive insomnia last night. I just woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't get back to sleep for a couple hours. So it threw my day way off. I finally was able to do my yoga and make my yoga tape, and I finally was able to get on live with you guys. But it's already getting close to 5:30, and I do have things going on this evening, so I'm not going to be able to stay on for too much longer. But I just wanted to let you guys know about my series of unfortunate events that led me to coming on at kind of an awkward time. Usually when we do our lives, we do them late at night, or me, I do them midday. I used to do them morning, and yeah, I missed that too. But now I do my yoga in the morning, so that's important for me to start my day like that. And yeah, you guys, I'd say that there's still a lot of questions that haven't even come to mind. And I'm continuously surprised as I have new questions come into the forefront of my imagination that I didn't even have any idea were there. So it is interesting how other cases will kind of jog your brain into different directions. For me, the case with Micah Miller seems to potentially have some parallels. And with the financial escapades. So we also have the helicopter pad that was put in up by the lodge and all the questions that brought to mind. And then with JP, he has his own private jet to zip around the skies. And why do people want to travel like that? I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is trafficking. that's a kind of a ideal way to travel. Take care of you, Jazz. Energizing in the morning is beneficial. Absolutely. And, I've been committing myself for the last almost 12 months to this whole yoga lifestyle. And I really want it to stick. I don't want it to just be like a fad that I go through. I'm trying to make sure of that. So I think it's okay for you to question the stuff, Jazz. The very fact that there were 50 FBI agents in the DHS makes you wonder, as does the Paltrow connection. Yeah, BoobTube TV. I didn't realize until maybe it was you and a couple other content creators have brought that up again recently about Gwyneth Paltrow. I remember that she had shared the information about Kiely missing back when it happened, but was she also boots on the ground? Did she actually participate in the search party? Or, I think the search party was not really a search party. There might have been some people there that didn't know and they thought that they were helping a search party. But yeah, the 50 FBI agents, the Homeland Security, the U.S. Marshals. No, none of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. Other than the Chimney Peak camera, is there any others in Reno that were there in August of 2022? I can't find anything on the NOAA Reno Hillside or Peavine Peak. All point to Reno and Verde. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge about that, Shan, but maybe somebody else watching might. Can't find when the last 3 were installed and don't see them in the 2022 folder. Some were added recently too, Boob TV says. BoobTube TV. That's what I was thinking. I think you found the right ones. First one in 2022 folder, other is in 2023, and last 2 are in 2024. So I assumed 2 new. And then Boob TV, BoobTube TV, BTT. Is that what Shan called you? She used initials. BTTV. Yeah, I like that. BTTV. No confirmation she personally searched. She was involved via Instagram for sure. Oh, you mean GP BTTV? Yep, I think she only put info out on IG because I never saw anything outside of that as far as she goes. Looks like 2 at Alder now. Yeah, and it brings to mind the other high profile, highly moneyed individual that was there searching, that he signed in and registered boots on the ground. And then all of that has been scrubbed. Mr. Z, right? Who also owns a lot of property on the island of Maui. He's got like a giant underground utopia in Maui. I shortened to BTTV. It's easier, and some people don't like saying boob on a live. I get it, Jess. Well, see, I always leave the tube part out. So, yeah, that's helpful for me, the BTTV. And there is a man missing from Placer County, high risk from a home. Another one, Agape Love. Yeah, I was just remembering a few days ago about the guy who passed away, the fatality at Burning Man last year, 2023, and how he just happened to be from Truckee. That was interesting, wasn't it, Shan? I know you were looking into that. I don't know if you found anything fascinating there. Just another coinky dink. Yeah. So, Kiely was very much of the ideal prototype of what traffickers look for. So in response, going back to Mrs. G's first comment about there not being any evidence of her being trafficked, personally, I think that it would be a gross oversight to not consider it, because Kiely does meet all the criteria of what traffickers look for. So slender, young, beautiful, long blonde hair, and then green eyes, like not blue eyes, but green eyes. And then her talent with singing. And I'm convinced that there's got to be many, many, many videos of her singing that we're not seeing. I'm convinced that there's a lot of photographs of her that we've never seen. And it really begs to wonder, for me, that there are powers that be that don't want her image in the public arena. They don't want people to be able to recognize her. So, yes, one deceased at Burning Man, and yes, from Placer. Oh, was he from Placer County? From Truckee, I thought. And yeah, most of Truckee is in Nevada County. It's just the south of there, that's Placer County. Sorry I missed what you said. I was reading fire cam stuff, my bad. Leon, yes, okay. Yet not 1 second of footage from that party. Yeah, not one photograph, not 1 second of footage of all the videos of people making videos and all these hours and hours of videos that the law enforcement was doing such a good job of trying to get a hold of, trying to attain, so that they could review them all. It was going to take a lot of time because they had so many, blah, blah, blah. Leon was from MC's neck of the woods. Yeah. Again, I don't think it's unkind to question MC's brother's passing away. If I'm remembering accurately, and you guys can probably tell me if I am or not, he was about 28 years old when he fell down a flight of stairs home alone in Truckee about 20 years ago. That's very suspicious. I mean, a lot of people fall downstairs and get injured, but it's not fatal. And whenever somebody passes, an unattended passing is always supposed to be treated as if there could be foul play until foul play is ruled out. So it's interesting to me the way she's attached herself to Kiely's case and what she's got with her own brother, with that history. And, you know, it's very sad for anybody to pass away at such a young age. But it just doesn't make sense. He was home alone, fell down a flight of stairs, and nobody's going to question anything. Scammy got the assignment from Truckee Way to collect everything, as allegedly she was the major player in whatever happened that dreadful night. I think that could be quite accurate. Agape love. It's an odd passing. I honestly feel bad for the family with Jeff. Is that his name, or are you talking about a different Jeff? Is that MC's brother's name? Leon Reese is the gent who passed at the Burning Man. He lived in Ponderosa Palisades. Thank you, squirrels, however it's spelled. Awesome. So, okay, so Jeff is the name of her brother. Yeah. And, I mean, it's terrible. you would think that that would make her more compassionate towards somebody losing a child. And anybody losing a child is going to ask a lot of questions. A lot of questions. It's not believable to me that the parent, the mom especially, is going to just say, oh, well, too bad we didn't have a Amber Alert, and let's try to fix that for the next one. On with the show. I've got bills to pay. We got this. No, that whole thing is so bizarre. And then the like sneaky cremation, and the fact that there was only Lindsay, only her name on the death certificate, when there was space for at least 3 other names, and Kiely had immediate family right there. That makes 0 sense. Get a hobby, Fred. I'm offended. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Scammy has a lot of symbolism to Disney. Look at that footage when she arrived at college. Weird. And then that whole Elsa thing. Very weird. Disney owned the Sugar Bowl Agape. Sugar Bowl football or the Sugar Bowl ski resort up there by Truckee? BT TV. The only thing I will say on it is this: it's odd how long the autopsy took. I think it was 5 months. I don't think it was quite that long, but I agree that it was odd. I don't remember it being 5 months. I want to say it might have been done by October, and that would just be a couple of months. But whenever you have an autopsy, you've got the preliminary findings that can be shared and are usually quite accurate. So the fact that there were no preliminary findings shared, if it was something as obvious and as unsuspicious as what they try to say that it was, I'm giving hobbies away. I have too many. LOL. I agree in your case, Shan. Yeah, and me too. I'm trying to whittle down my numbers of hobbies. I'm trying to keep it with, I mentioned this recently, YouTube, the yoga, the true crime, the jewelry, the home decor, and family. And, that's about all I have time for. So it's a lot. It keeps me busy. I like to be busy, so that's a good thing. I think she means Jeff's. I do mean Jeff's. Oh, okay. Thank you. So it took 5 months for his autopsy. Thanks so much for pointing that out. Leon's only took a couple of weeks. Right. And Kiely's took a couple of months, right? It was like her celebration of life was probably a week after her birthday. So yeah, we're coming up to her 19th birthday in another week, you guys. I know some people were making announcements on their YouTube channels a couple of days ago that it was the 2-year anniversary of the day that she was allegedly found. So, well, let's wrap up. We're just shy of 50 minutes here. Boob Tube TV says, I will have a video done in a month on that. I had a catastrophic systems failure and lost half my data and all projects. Even Pluto was featured in front of a poster that said, visit the Redwoods. I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that is catastrophic when something happens with your system, especially if you have a YouTube channel, but even if you don't have a YouTube channel. So it's reminding me that Shay Zone, she left her laptop out in the rain, so she hasn't been able to make videos lately. And I really appreciate her videos. I also really appreciate Veronica Adams, and she's made a couple in the last couple of days. She just really seems to like speak from the heart and has a lot of common sense, Veronica Adams. And same with Shay Zone. But also, as I say the name of her channel, Shay Zone, it's reminding me of Shannon Sharp, Shay, and his YouTube channel. What is it? Club Shay. And that interview that he had with Cat Williams in January of this year that literally went viral, you guys. I didn't realize that over 70 million people have watched that 2.5 hour interview with Cat Williams. So I started rewatching it recently because it's really good. It's really good. And Cat Williams, turns out, is from Ohio. He was born in Cincinnati and raised in Dayton before he moved to Florida. He's lived a very interesting life. Very, very interesting. Let's see. What gets me is that it was declared an accident drowning, yet the case still isn't closed and no FOIA will be honored. How the heck does that work? Exactly, Agape Love. Precisely. You're right on the money there. You know, I really think that the key to Kiely's case could very well lie in the Nevada County Sheriff's Department and the California State Highway Patrol, in both of those entities, as well as Placer County, of course. But those identical twin Stanio brothers, you guys, I'm so suspicious of the two of them and their connection to the area, their law enforcement connections, their connection to Trinity Backus. Again, Christopher Stanio, Trinity's stepdad, was boots on the ground for the Kiely Rodni search as a professional employee of Nevada County Sheriff's Department. And then his twin brother working as a trooper for the California State Highway Patrol. I think we need to look into that more. And, you know, not to mention the sheriff of Placer County. Oh, Granny Annie, for entertainment, ladies and Mark, check out me dancing with the Fremont Street Gorilla last night. He took a copy of the video. Oh, how fun. Fremont, that's such a cool area of Seattle. I love Fremont. It's crazy to me how California has the most transparency laws, yet is the least transparent about anything. Well, that's why they have to have all those transparency laws, right? I think it rests on waterboarding Sammy. Fred Field, I think that's abundantly clear in my opinion. And yeah, Trinity is another devastating situation. California, where transparency comes to die. Yep, pretty much. All right, you guys. Well, it's Friday evening. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks again for being here with me. Thanks for watching my channel. I am just delighted to have a channel, to be 2 years in, to be, I think I've got over 700 videos now. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I'm still getting to my first paycheck with YouTube, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to get there. I'm getting close. So, yeah, don't forget to hit your like button if you'd be so kind. Take really good care of yourself. Have a great weekend. Eat a lot of healthy veggies and protein and drink your water. Get some exercise and fresh air and sunshine. Personally, I don't like the sun at all. I'm very sensitive to it, but sunlight is important. And some sunshine is essential for vitamin D, right? That's important. So thanks so much, you guys. Love and light. Keep going, Jazz. Oh, thanks, BTTV. And yeah, thanks for all of your great work, you guys. Everybody, keep on keeping on. Are you planning on doing a live this weekend, Shan? If you want to answer before I hit that end stream button. And no pressure if you're not planning on one. I'm not trying to pressure you. Yes, at some point. Okay, cool. All right. And Idaho, no transparency. Yeah, that Idaho case is the worst. Absolutely the worst. But don't give up hope. Love and light. See you on the next one.